Hi, this is Zach with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 27th of July. Starting off with the S&P, as usual, to limber up, and here you can see we're in this consolidation roughly between 45.20 and the recent peaks towards 45.80. The target for next month still in place, one-year resistance line projection 47.20, and that's founded while we hold above that 45.20 zone. Don't really want to see this market much below 4,500 if we're going to get to that 47.20 by the end of next month. There was a hint of bearish divergence last week in the market with a higher late July resistance rather than the early July resistance, but we seem to have managed to fade that away, and the market, even though we've gone up on so many consecutive days, still looking relatively stable at these levels. Moving along to the stocks, and quite a motley bunch today. First one is Armata Pharmaceuticals, and here you can see that we've gapped through the 200-day moving average at $2. So we've broken a line of resistance there at $2.40 from back in October, and above $2.40 looking for as much as $4.50 by the end of next month. As long as we're above that 200-day line, we feel relatively secure that $4.50 could be on its way. Next contender coming up is ABVC Biopharma, and here gapped up after basically being in a rather pressured falling wedge that's been in place for the best part of 3 months. The breakout line there at $4, and really the view at the moment is that while we're above resistance on the way down around $4.80, we could at least head up to the 200-day moving average at $7 by the end of next month. Big picture target, maybe over the next 2 to 3 months, as high as $11 at the top of that broadening triangle from the start of the year. Another new name coming up, and here a beautiful looking chart, Flushing Financial. We had the much higher low, rising trend channel base from back in March, and gapping through recent resistance from June around $15. Above $15, looking for not only more attempts at breaking the 200-day line at $16.60, but an ultimate target here maybe over the next 4 to 6 weeks as high as $21. And hopefully it could be a bit sooner than 4 to 6 weeks, given how good that reversal for the shares has been, with a much higher support over the course of July. Famous name coming up next in the form of Groupon, and here the shares have managed to hit our first target there around the $8 level. End of day closes above $8 could be enough to then bring the shares up to as high as $12 by the end of next month at the top of that broadening triangle from the beginning of November last year. Stop loss, really the 200-day line, the easiest thing, and that's around $6.30 at the moment. And double RSI bounces above neutral 50, well above neutral 50, also give this chart a decent look. On to a fashionable name, if you're maybe born in the 90s or 80s. Here we've got the Gap Inc. And here you can see that we've gapped up rather appropriately through the recent resistance, post-June resistance, around $9.80. Above that, on an end-of-day close basis, looking up for up to $12 by the end of next month. Don't really want to see us below the $9.50 level, which is basically the base of the recent gap. RSI 50 bounce also giving strength to the idea that we can get up to $12, as is the way that the 50-day line is now rising quite sharply. Moving on to a stock which is looking quite perky at the moment. We have Hanesbrands, and here breaking through recent resistance, post-March resistance within a broadening triangle base. Top of that trend channel is up to $7, and that's valid at least while we're above the $5 area, which was the June-July resistance for this stock. So rising trend channel base, looking for $7 by the end of next month on the latest breakout. Moving along to one of the regulars here on the US Chartbreakers, and you'll see why from the daily chart, breaking out of the recent bull flag, consolidating and breaking out at the same time, if that makes any sense. We managed to hit the first target here around $12.70, now looking for up to $20 by the end of next month. especially while we remain above the $15 area, which is basically the middle of that extended consolidation. On to another winner in the recent past, and here you'll see why. Keycorp. We've got this market in a rising trend channel base this time, and that's been in place since March. Top of the channel there, heading for $14, which we expect by the end of next month, and only back below the recent bull flag low around $11.40, really delaying $14 for Keycorp over the near term. A frequent flyer here coming up is Nikola Corporation, and here we broke through the 200-day line quite nicely earlier in the month, but we decided that we needed to test it as new support. That's around the $1.90 area. Above $1.90, we're still looking for that old December resistance line projection as high as $4 over the next 1 to 2 months. So maybe potentially by the end of next month, or maybe going into September. But the key here is that we stay above 190. If we don't stay above it, then there's the risk of a deeper dive, deeper retest for support back to the 50-day line at around the $1.30 area. No such quibbles with the next stock, which has also been appearing here on many occasions. Multiple unfilled gaps to the upside for Rivian, melted through the 200-day moving average as if it wasn't there, and breaking out of this recent bull flag around $26.50. Above that, looking for a new leg to the upside, maybe as high as $39 as soon as the end of next month, maybe a 4 to 6 week time frame. But the longer we spend above $25 here, the better the look for Rivian, especially given all those gaps to the upside. New name is next, and here you can see why it's been included in this selection. Here we've had Shapeways, which is in a rising trend channel base from back in March. Top of the channel there, heading for $6. We could hopefully see $6 while we hold above $3.80 and the 50-day moving average. Nice uptrend line in the RSI window as well, which looks as though it's giving positive momentum and will continue to give positive momentum over the near term. Another new name coming up, and here at chart, which is well, basically a breakout, a handbrake turn. So we were right on the lows for the start of the week, but we've gapped up through the 50-day moving average. And the view now is that while we're above the resistance just before the breakout around $27.30, we're heading for as high as $32 or even $33 at the top of that broadening triangle from February, as soon as the end of next month. On to the last three. First one is traditional company, one could say, Union Pacific, gapping through the top of the rising trend channel that we were, the trend channel target we were looking for, previously $231 there. Above 231, we're looking for a new leg to the upside. Probably at this stage, the favored destination would be up to $250, which is the late August resistance line projection. And the real proviso there is that we hold above the low 230s area. I think the low yesterday, 233, so ideally we stay above or on the right side of $230 ahead of potentially $250. Moving along to a decent looking situation, Vicor Corporation, massive gap to the upside. Shares gap down in February, so this is a bear trap island reversal over the sort of the longer period. Current situation is that while we're above the old August resistance there at $82, we're looking for fresh progress up to that line of resistance from March last year, which is currently pointing to as high as $110. So that's our favored destination for the end of next month, or perhaps even sooner, given the pace of progress here. Always good to see a stock which is breaking through a target that we had, an ambitious one at that. Here we were looking for WW to head to $11. It's done that via a gap through that top of that rising trend channel from June last year. Above $11, we can now upgrade the shares to as high as $15 by the end of next month. So we're looking pretty chirpy there, especially after that massive gap through the unfilled gap through the 50 and 200-day lines at the beginning of April. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.